All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode. We got some stuff to talk about, obviously. A few games have went by, obviously. We've had the weekend there, the 3 game week, triple header. And I will say, boys, highly impressed. Highly impressed you were able to come out there throughout the 3 header. And you know what? You said, we're not going out there to, play. We're not going out there to have fun. We're going out there to do what we do. And that's what you did. You went out there. You did what you did. You did what you had to. You got the passes in the right spot throughout all the weekend. And I mean in game 22, game 23, and in game 24. All right? Now, let's get on talking about the games and on, physically on how you guys did. Now, game 22, we were in home ice, right? We had Brampton, all right? We had Brampton, all right? We had the Steelheads. Now, you're able to sweep them, obviously. Brampton's nothing. They're not a threat. So, for me to talk about, you guys, what you did against Brampton, I don't have to. I don't have to. You know why? Because you prove my points every time I say something. Every time I say something, you go out there. You prove it. You don't mind the fans. You don't think about the fans in the moment. You play your game of sport, and when the game's over, you think about the fans. That's a true player. And all of you have done it. All of you. So congratulations. Y'all are tremendous players. Doesn't matter if you're on the Pete's or not. Okay? Regardless if you are an outstanding player. Don't let that get you. Just because you may have had a rough night or you had an outstanding night doesn't mean you're the best. If you want to be the best, you got to see like the best. You got to feel like the best. You got to work out like the best. You got to wake up like the best. You got to prove that you want it. You got to prove that you're able to go out there night in and night out, like I say every time we do a video, and prove that your efforts are there. Prove that you are willing to do what it takes. Prove that you are willing to do what you have to do. Prove that you are no shy of a man to go out there and put up points, put up assists, put up goals. It doesn't matter on what it is. You prove that you are that guy. And I swear, by the minutes, by the days, you will see success as long as you breathe success. Now, with that being said, I know failures can come in. I've had my fair share. Tragic ACL injury ended my football career. Now, one thing that everybody should think about, especially if you've went through an injury like myself or are going through a current injury like I have, the comeback is always greater. It doesn't matter on what kind of an injury it is. The comeback is always greater. As long as you make it great. Now, you can come back and not want to play and not want to do this, your whole mindset can change. But I'm telling you, the true ones know that the comeback from an injury, especially a life-shocking one, career-threatening, they know when it comes to those type of moments, the comeback is always greater. All right? Keep that in mind. Now, continuing on what we were saying about game 22, you guys did win 7-1. You blew it. You blew that. All right? You blew it out the park. Good win. Congratulations. Good win. Now, we went on to, away ice. Obviously, we had to go away from home. And we had Kingston again back-to-back. Now, make sure you get your OG. I'm not sponsored, just saying. Not sponsored. But listen, OJ or water. I'm just saying, juice or water. Don't be sipping on that pop. All right? Don't be drinking none of that. It's not good for you. All right? The sodium on the inside of the bottom, like, it's not good for you. Let's be real, right? So Gatorade's not really good for you either, right? But you still drink it, okay? Don't be drinking Prime either. I don't want to see not one of you with a Prime bottle in your hand, because I will trip you for that, all right? I understand we can support Logan Paul, but don't be drinking his drink. It's a fair warning, boys. It's a fair warning. Now, game 23. Again, away ice. I was at the game, okay? I was at the game, and I seen all yous after it. Hey, let's see. Thanks for shaking the hand, brother. Thanks for coming up and signing my puck. I appreciate it. Much well needed, you know. And like I said to you, wasn't expecting to follow back on Instagram. So, yeah, thanks for that, brother. Thanks for that. You know, you guys, just because, you know, your age, you know, doesn't mean that, you know, guys like myself that are 21 or 20, it doesn't mean, you know, we can lose that hope and faith that we've had for years supporting teams. All right. There, you know, there's many of people that are getting older and older and older, but still come out. They still support. All right. Some still want autographs like myself. Some still want pictures. And it's not because, you know, they want it. It's because either one, it's something they've always done, and it's something that makes them feel happy. So as a player, I think when people, you know, come up to you and you know, I think what you should do is take that in. And I know I have never been in your shoes. I know I've never signed autographs for no one. I've never been like that. Never really went pro. Okay, we'll say that. We'll be honest. Never really went pro. So I don't know how y'all feel, and I don't understand it. Okay? But I can understand on how you all feel when it comes to a sport perspective. I can understand that. But I think, you know, giving everybody, you know, a smile on their face is just a more important thing, you know, especially, you know, if they're not a fan, or if they are, you know, if they're a fan, giving them a smile on their face, you know, doing something for them is the best you can do. It's the best you can do. And even in, you know, you'll have those some nights, I'm sure, that you don't want to do nothing. You know, you may have a bad game, may have a bad night, and, you know, but the fans are, you know, very, very high supported, and especially the young ones. You know, the young fans, they're very, very specially supportive when it comes to hockey and the teams. You know, it doesn't matter on what team it is, any team, the young fans are the more important fans. The older fans like myself, yes, they got the money, so they're going to be able to buy your equipment, you know, especially when it comes up for auction. So they'll be like that. They'll be able to come in there and purchase your stuff. And I've done a few. I've gotten like a lot, and it's behind you, to be honest. You're literally sitting behind, well, not behind, but you're sitting in front of the whole collection. I would flip the camera and show you, but we will do that for another time because we still got stuff to talk about, and we've been doing this for 8 minutes now. We're usually done at about 6 minutes, 6:30. So my fault for blabbering and blabbering and blabbering and blabbering. So let's continue. All right, we're men here. Let's continue. Now, throughout that game, right, game 23 in Kingston, right? Remember what I said? I was at the game. You guys played well. Everybody was making passes in the right spots. Now, it was a tough game. It wasn't like y'all were coming in and messing the game up like y'all did the Brampton at home ice. All right? It wasn't like that. It was a totally different feel. That game was a game to watch. And it wasn't even a game. We're not even going to call it a game, because that was a show. All right? The difference between a game and a show, let me tell you, there's a lot of difference. And like I said, we've been blabbering on for too much, so I'm not going to tell you. But well played well played. Like I said, everybody was in the right angles, in the right spots. They were playing you well, and that was known. All right, we have a lot of back-to-back games, especially against Kingston, and this is now our second back-to-back within the season against Kingston. So they knew we're coming, to show up and do what we got to do, and that's what we did. So they knew we were coming to do that. They wanted to put up a show too. They got a good fan base, and like I said, I'm from here, so their fan base is kind of crazy. Not as crazy as us, right? Not as crazy as us, Pete's fans out there, and especially not as us players, all right, that watch, okay? And you know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm a player, because I'm not. I play my own kind of hockey, beer league. If anybody wants a chance to come out and run a pracky, hit me up. Hey, we're taking a lot of numbers. Doesn't matter your skill. But yeah, Kingston, they played you good. You were able to go in there. You did what you did. Like I said, everybody played well. But coming into the next game, okay? Coming into game 24 is when it got serious. Because not only did you win game 23 only by 1 point in OT, okay? Not only did you do that, you had to play them, like I said, back to back on your home ice, fellas. On our home ice. And you proved them wrong. You proved that they can't come in here and talk shit no more. That's exactly what you proved. You proved that this Kingston team is a hunk of garbage. That is exactly what you proved. The fall down Frontenacs are back, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. We're going to put it right on the flag. Put it on a flag. Right now, put it on a flag. The fall down Frontenacs are back. I'm going to send that to Mark at the Peach store. We're gonna get him making a flag for that. Every time Kingston comes into town, all right, we're gonna get the flag going. The fall down Frontenacs are back, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be something, all right. Getting Kingston's head, okay? Because they think they're better than us, and that's obviously something they're not. Because we beat them 6-2. 6-2. Hey, Jacob. I don't know if you watch these, but if you do, let me tell you something. All right? This is why you don't get cocky, kid. All right? This is why you don't get cocky. All right? I know it was last year. Okay? I know it was a last year thing. But I ain't never forgot about it. You need to keep your team at a pace to where they're not cocky like yourself. Because it's going to bite you in the butt cheeks. And what did it do? It bit you hard. Brother, it made you go and get surgery. You had to get like at least 17 stitches in there. Whew. Would hate to be in your shoes. Fellas. All right? And that's speaking on everybody on Kingston. Would hate to be in your guys' shoes. Poor guy. Poor Frontenacs. Right? Poor Frontenacs. Yeah, and let's be real. They do have a good team. They do. But Jacob, you're not the one to do it. You're not the captain, kid. All right? Now, I understand you have the C. You don't act like a captain. Maybe if you act like a captain, you got your team not being so cocky out there, not making things going wrong, maybe your team would do good. But unfortunately, what happens? What happens when Peterborough comes to town? What happens? You get too cocky, all right? Your team starts talking before the warm-up even starts, all right? I can hear them. I got ears. I sit right by you. I got ears. You're talking too hype. You're talking like you already had the game in the bag. I'm sorry, but the game didn't even start yet. Y'all are talking like you got it in the bag. You don't got it in the bag. We came in. We knocked you. All right. Now it was a fair game, but we got the nag on you. by one, and then you guys come into our place, and we show you what's up. We show you on how it's done. Okay? Now, keep in mind, kid, that right there is entertainment. That right there is what you call a blowout. Now, you probably had a hard time at practice. I'm sure you did. But, like I said, maybe next time, buddy, don't be coming into our home stadium or even your home ice and thinking that you guys have the game in the bag, even though the game didn't even start. All right? That's a fair hitter. Now, boys, let's get back to it, because we got a game tonight. It's game day. All right? And we're going intense. We just had a blowout game. All right? And we're going intense tonight. We're going intense. I want everybody at their high levels. All right? Get your socks hiked up. Hike them up good. Get your jerseys feeling nice. Because we're not only going out there and we're not only proving a point again and again and again. We're going to go out there and we're going to make sure North Bay don't have nothing to say at the end of this one. We're going to make sure that they're willing to take a knee for us at the end of the game. That's what we need to do in this game. Now, they've gotten the upper hand on us once. Okay? They have done it, once or twice maybe in this season, if I can remember. So we do got to take into consideration. They're going to come out. They're going to come gunslinging. So let's go out there with a high mindset. High vision. All right? High vision. And what we're going to do with that vision, we're going to take that vision, we're going to use it to a high extent. We're going to get the passes off nice and firmly. We're going to get it into our team's hand. So they're able to make a play. They're able to make a deke. They're able to do a hit. Maybe even get in a fight. Let's go out there. Let's put our heads high. Because we're not losing this one. Not tonight. Tonight ain't the night. And if you think tonight's a night for a loss, you're sadly mistaken. We're going to go out there. We're going to play our way. We're going to play as we can. Okay? And I don't want to hear no complaining. You signed up for this. Go out there. Prove your points. Make some hits. Make them bleed. And remember, not physically. We don't want to kill no one on the ice. I don't know how many times I got to point this out here and say this at the end of the video. We do not want no one dead on the ice. Okay? So if you're going to hit someone, hit them properly. Hit them properly in the way you were trained. We don't want no flaw hit and then someone getting it suspended or kicked out. We don't want none of that. All right? So, please, if you're going to make a hit, make it well, make it hard, but make it proper. All right?